Hey, what's up, classic TV fans? My name is Rick9G. Thank you so much for joining me today. We're going to be talking about the Munsters, more specifically about Yvonne De Carlo and the sad tragedy that took place at the time when she was at the Munsters. Sometimes we don't think about actors as real people and what happens to them behind the scenes. They go through struggles just like us. So I'm going to talk about one that you may not have heard of, and it was a very difficult one, and even so, she brought us so many laughs and so much joy. Yvonne De Carlo played the amazing Lilly Munster on the show The Munsters. She co-starred along with Fred Gwynne, who played Herman Munster, and they were an amazing pair. I mean, you would think that they were really husband and wife. Now, in the 1960s, Yvonne De Carlo, her Hollywood career wasn't as active as it used to be. Of course, she was in The Ten Commandments and other B movies, as we call them. So she was having fewer jobs and she took less roles and even some guest appearances on TV shows, which was seen as beneath an actor who was in Hollywood movies. Now, the year was 1962 when her life took a downward spiral. It was pretty much a tragic event. Now, her husband at the time was stuntman Bob Morgan. Now, he got into a horrific accident while he was filming a movie. You may have heard of it. It was called How the West Was Won. Now, he was a stuntman for the movie. The movie was made by MGM, and unfortunately, he got run over by a train on the set. An accident, a tragic accident, and he lost his left leg completely as a result of an amputation. Now, the couple, De Carlo and Morgan, sued MGM for the accident, but unfortunately it was deemed that the production company had no fault in the accident, which is super unfortunate. They weren't remunerated for what happened. Now, medical expenses began piling up, and De Carlo worked very hard not only to care for her husband, which she did. She was essentially his caretaker at home, ailing him back to health, getting him back on the road to recovery, but she also had to cover the bills, being a single income household. Now, she took to working in things like nightclubs, but the debt continued to grow. But it was then when Universal Pictures offered her an amazing possibility, an amazing opportunity to play Lilly Munster in this new sitcom that was being developed about Universal Monsters? What's this about? So she was very desperate and she took this. It was kind of sad for her, but she said, hey, I need to do what I need to do for myself, my family, my children, and so forth. And so she signed a contract to play the role of Lilly, despite the character being very different from what she normally portrayed on screen. It said that she even cried when she saw herself in the green makeup playing Lilly Munster when she, again, was a Hollywood star, now doing smaller roles on TV, right? But little did she know that Lilly Munster would be essentially the character that she was known for throughout her life. It was essentially the pinnacle of her career. Now, I made a video a couple years ago highlighting how some people said that she was very difficult on set. I think that's an important video to make because I like to give all versions, all sides of everything, and then have you make up your mind. So I think it's important to say that yes, people are saying that she was difficult on set, but then if we look at this story here, we can see why there may have been that difficulty. Not excusing and not anything, but we're bringing both sides here. We may have more of an explanation, and it's just easier to see what is going on if we see the whole picture involved. So I want you to let me know what you think about this. I mean, this is a woman who in the 60s, right, was working full-time, and she was taking care of her husband who was on a road to recovery. She had children. They were going through a divorce before he had his accident. There was a lot going on, yet she pulled it all together, being a consummate performer, showing us the amazing performances in The Munsters, which we all know and love her for. I would love to know your thoughts down below. What do you think of Lilly Munster? What do you think of Yvonne De Carlo? I'd love to read your comments down below. We'll see you next time, and don't forget, everyone, no matter what, always be hopeful. Thank you to everyone who supports me, especially my Diamond tier patrons: Vito L, David D, Sally N, Ricky, Citizen Kane 359, Kevin K, Greg S. Thank you as well to my new Gold tier patrons, Jennifer P and Scott F. To be listed here, check out the links below for my Patreon.